For today's episode, we're going back in time over a year. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Before we go back in time, I do have one small piece of news that will be relevant for tomorrow's Community Day, and that's that they've changed the rewards for Task 3 and Task 4. They decided to include some of the new resources in it. You can see the new Task 3 rewards here. It's 5 spellbooks, 20 spell energy, and 5 ginger root. And the only real difference there, it used to be 2 spellbooks, so they've added 3 spellbooks, which used to be part of the Task 4 rewards, is how they originally had it. It's like they've slid them over to the third rewards. And if you look at the Task 4 rewards, they used to have 3 spellbooks with it, but they slid those down to Task 3, so we didn't lose that reward. It just got moved to the Task 3 rewards. And what they added in were ministry manuals and field guides. 5 of the ministry manuals and 30 of the field guides. So even though the tasks are the same, nothing in that respect has changed. They just changed the rewards you get to, in the set 4 tasks, allow you to get some ministry manuals and field guides as rewards. So moving on. As some of you may know if you've watched some of my older videos, I actually started this channel, or attempted to start this channel, before Wizards Unite even came out, because I was pretty excited about the game coming out. And I lived in Maryland at that time, Maryland, United States, for those of you outside of the United States. And my summers tend to be pretty busy, so it actually dropped the day I had just traveled, and I would be traveling for about 20 days. So it made it really difficult. I had my camera with me just in case, but I was traveling for about 20 days, so I didn't get too much done. And then actually when I got back to Maryland and started to film some episodes, or at least try to film some episodes, it was actually at that time that I ended up losing my job up there and I moved down to North Carolina. So that kind of put a damper on it. There was a big hiatus where I didn't play Wizards Unite for a while, certainly wasn't making videos, and just recently, within the past couple months, I've started putting videos out again and really started playing again a lot more. So very excited about that. But this episode you're about to see took place in July. I believe it was like July 14th, around there. And it was essentially the last episode before I ended up coming back to North Carolina. And at the time I was filming the episode, I actually didn't realize I was going to be losing my job up there and having to come back down. So it is an interesting episode. It's interesting for me to edit it and watch how I did things back then. And it was really new to me, I guess, at that time, because this really was one of the first episodes of me being kind of back home and just an everyday episode going out, as opposed to being in Disney Springs. If you've seen that older episode from that time, that was a little different. It's certainly not the most exciting content I've ever put out, but it is interesting for some of the screenshots or some of the screen records that I have, just seeing some of the older interfaces that were happening at the time, and just some of the things that were happening, like tonic for trace detection didn't exist, and just trying to get leaping toadstools for Brufios. Anyway, it does kind of follow along just kind of an average day back then, what it was like. And the biggest thing I really noticed, just a lower number of traces just overall. Even when I was around a lot of areas, you could just see on my screen, there would only be like 2 or 3 traces in a mall parking lot or something like that. So anyway, enjoy. Hello everybody. As I said in an earlier video, the game dropped right as I went out of town, which was really a bummer because I was gone for 20 days. The first 20 days, you can check out my other videos to see a little bit of what I did. Didn't get to play a ton because I had work to do, and also I was in the middle of Wi-Fi and no service when I was in Norway, but check that video out. So anyway, I was hoping that my old Pokemon Go hunting grounds would be very good, and if you look at the screen right now, I'm actually scanning back and forth. You can see, oh my gosh, this is going to be an awesome place to play. So anyway, I'm getting an early start today. Really want to start grinding today. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I'm hoping to grind most of the day and then maybe get this video edited later. But I got some breakfast. I got my Starbucks. I'm going to sit by these 2 fortresses. I think I'm going to battle them for a little bit while I eat breakfast, and I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Finished breakfast. Now I'm sitting here in the middle of the city. I say city, it's like an old downtown area, which has a lot of historic sites, which is why you're seeing so many fortresses and inns and tons of greenhouses. When I was in Disney and Norway, there were greenhouses, but not this many greenhouses. So I see a lot more, which is nice for this area because I come back here all the time, which means I can plant things and then come back later. I currently am out of water though. I have no water. I have enough water to do some things, but I'm wanting, of course, to do Toadstool, which actually, let me show you that real quick. Let me go to the vault. Let me show you, I feel like this is, for me at least, you can see right there in the middle on the left, the leaping toadstool. That right now for me is one of the hardest ingredients to get. And it's in the Barufio's brain elixir, which gives you the double XP, which is everybody wants to use those right now. So planting those, you're doing everybody a favor. The problem is it's a 1-day turnaround. So wherever you plant it, you need to come back the next day. So for me, I'll probably come back here tomorrow at this time. So I'm really looking for enough water to plant it. And as I go over to potions, let me go to recipes, and you can see Barufio's brain elixir uses 2 of them per pop. I have 1 right now. I have a bunch of the other stuff, and I have a bunch of them right now. Certainly spending some in-game money on that. Right when we kicked it off, I did. Mainly, I was getting some of the good box deals they had, and the Gryffindor thing, and the Ravenclaw, and the Hufflepuff. Those were all really good deals. So I got them while I could, and also, I believe right at the beginning, you have 2 days to buy that first box. So I had bought that, and I haven't used them a ton, but it is what it is. So anyway, right now I'm just grinding, going through stuff. Not too many. I did the fortresses this morning, mainly to try to find some pixies, formidable pixies, which I did end up fighting 1, but also just for the daily quest to do the wizarding challenge. Plus, if you're going to sit down in one spot, traces don't come back up, but if you sit by a fortress, you still have something to do while you drink your coffee and eat your breakfast. Oh, I got that one, 220 experience. I am on a Barufio's right now. I have 12 minutes left on it. And I stopped for a moment. Let me get this energy. I'm almost maxed out on energy. And that's not for me purchasing it or anything here. That's just, if you look around, just the sheer number of inns. And don't forget greenhouses, even if you don't need the ingredients, sometimes it'll give you like up to 4 energy, as I've gotten at them sometimes. So even I'll just dump ingredients so I can just keep hitting them to see if I can get more energy from them. And then I'll dump more ingredients and so on and so forth. Anyway, you can see my current situation. Level 25, actually, let me show you the experience. Level 25, 60,000 to the next level. I have 22,785. Oh my gosh, it's starting to rain right now. That's probably going to put a damper on my plans. I did know it was going to rain later today. It's supposed to actually thunderstorm, which is why I was hoping to get all this in early today. Anyway, I was hoping to grind up to maybe 26 or 27 today. Tomorrow I'm going to do the same thing though, as much as I can. I've got some other things to do. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and walk around some more. I've walked down one way, I want to walk the other way, and like I said, this rain has started, so I'm probably going to need to get out of it. Anyway, I'll catch up to you guys in a little bit and let you know where I am. I'm back in my car. Unfortunately, I get to play about, I don't know, probably 30 minutes. About 30 minutes of catching traces. I actually battled 1 fortress. Because I was stuck in a spot because it started to rain, and it's supposed to keep raining. I looked at the forecast. It's supposed to be raining for the next, I don't know, 6 hours, on and off, on and off. And it's really hard to hold an umbrella, hold the camera, and play. In fact, just holding the camera and playing is really difficult. You see people do it with vlogs and games. This game certainly doesn't lend itself to that. Pokemon Go, I think I could pull it off because you could learn to use your thumb to do those, to throw the ball, and it was the same motion for everything. So I have short fingers though, makes it difficult. So for this, all the different casts, really difficult to do. So I usually have to put the camera down. I can only hold the camera while I'm walking and not playing, or not actually at least actively trying to cast spells, hit ins, that kind of thing. Anyway, as much as I hate to do this, because it's really not my favorite place to play, but it is indoors. It's also really humid. I'm just sweating like crazy. The mall. I'm going to head over to the mall. I haven't actually played there, so I'm interested to see what it looks like, but it'll at least give me an indoor place to play that I'm not getting rained on. I'm not sure how much filming I'm going to do because I don't like bringing out the camera in the mall. People end up messing with you all the time. But I'm going to head over to the mall, and we're going to see how much further I can get with getting towards level 26. So I'll see you over there. Well, Change of plans. It stopped raining, and there's this lake that you just saw, and it's right next to the mall. So I figure I can come here. I actually brought my umbrella this time, so I could walk around a little bit. I've been wanting to walk around this lake. It was good for Pokemon Go, so I'm assuming it will be really good for this. So I'm gonna walk around, hit some inns. All right, so I stopped here on a bench, a couple inns around me. Let me show you what it looks like here. So it's definitely a small lake. And as I look around, you can see, especially right now looking up that pathway, it's just like inns all along it. So I'm hoping there's traces. It'll allow me to refill energy as I go. It's kind of the perfect setup when you're playing this game, is to have inns. You can catch a couple traces and move on to the next one. So even if you're getting only 3 energy per inn, you can get maybe 2 to 3 traces depending on how the casting goes. So, I haven't put on, I'm gonna put on an elixir right now. That would be a smart idea. There's a couple things here, actually. Let me hit my potions. You can see I just brewed that. And so I'm about to brew this, and I'm gonna hit the handle here. Boop. And you can see I've already unlocked the master notes for this, so I don't have to play around. It already tells me what they are. I really do want to make a video about that for any of you that haven't gotten too much into potions, to help you with how to unlock master notes, how to go through it, what that's like. Ooh, my registry. Looks like I can place a Gryffindor student. That's the hardest one to get on this page. I still have that boggart cabinet in the back. I think that is Defense Against Dark Arts classroom. Oh, I said I was going to do the Brufrios, and then here I am going into it. So let's exit back out. Like I said, looking for those toadstools, that's really the biggest thing. This one I have trouble getting a good cast on. Yeah, that definitely should be resisted. Looks a lot like the Star Trek symbol. If you're familiar with Star Trek, this is exactly what the little emblem on their shirt looks like. I'm terrible at this one for some reason. I'm not even going that fast with my tracing. Which, if you didn't know, it's a combination of being correct, but also being fast, because you can actually do it amazing, but if you take too long to do it, it goes down too far on the timing, and then you end up coming back up to a great, but it won't get to masterful that way. So make sure you practice being quick. Sometimes being quicker is even more important than being correct, I have found. Some of them, it's better to not be as good. This one, I have so much trouble getting a masterful on. I get greats, I definitely get greats, but masterful, very difficult for me. Ooh, nice. I tell you, usually that one, for whatever reason, this particular foundable, I don't know what it is. For me, one data point, my case study, I have trouble getting it. Even when I cast well, it just takes a while for the flesh-eating slugs to be caught, or it runs away from me all the time. No more traces in this area. So, I'm gonna start walking down in that direction, which for me is that direction. I'm gonna head down there, and as I walk along, I'm just gonna hit those inns, try to get some traces, see if I can gain some experience. Right now, I'm almost halfway through my way to 26. I'm almost halfway through to 26. So I'll catch up with you a little bit. Maybe if it starts raining, I'll be back in the car and I'll let you know. But I'll catch up with you probably at the end of that and let you know if I found anything. Made it to the other end. Pretty good. Most of the ends had about 3 energy. Some of them I got up to 6. I actually got a butterbeer out of one, which gives you 6 as well, I think. Not sure. I'll put the correct number on the screen if I'm wrong. Anyway, made it to the other end. Definitely catch, I don't know, maybe 15 different foundables. Recorded some of them for you. Anyway, it is supposed to start raining soon, so I'm actually going to head over to the mall because it's like 2 minutes away by car. So I'm going to drive over there so I can grind indoors a little, probably go back the same way I came. There's not many inns on the other side of the lake. They're mainly on this side. So I'm actually going to just retrace my steps. I'll get to hit the inns again. Not sure if traces will have respawned by then, but if they have, fantastic. And might do some fortress battles again. I did hit that one fortress. You saw I got a formidable Pixie, which I need for my special quest. You have to fight 10 of them. I think I'm up to 2, maybe 3. I fought an imposing. I'm curious if a higher level one will give you credit for hitting a formidable, or if it has to be exactly that. And the reason I say that, in Pokemon Go, if you are required to make a certain type of throw or catch a certain type of Pokemon, if you do a better version of it, they give you credit for it. So it's something I didn't keep track of how many I had to look at before and after to see if it counted. It's something I'll be looking out for. I'm gonna check and I'll let you know if I find out. Anyway, I'll catch up with you at the mall in just a little bit. I made it to the mall. Looking around, you can see a decent number of inns in there, a couple greenhouses, 3 fortresses, which means I should be able to use that energy, regain the energy. Some foundables here in the parking lot too, which is nice. Well, one more thing I wanted to look at, achievements. I'm curious how close I am to Masterful Casts. Ooh, 413 out of 500. So that means 87 more Masterful Casts. I'm not sure if I'll do that today. That's a lot of foundables and a lot of Masterfuls within those foundables. So probably not going to get that. I'm not bringing the camera into the mall. Just want to grind a little, and it's a pain to carry it around and play. I've definitely found if I'm hands-free, it's going to do that. Also got to plug into a battery pack, so we'll see how it goes. I'll catch up with you after the mall, possibly even back at home while I'm editing. Go ahead and let you know how the mall went and where I am sitting on experience and my foundables. See you in a bit. Unfortunately, after I left the mall, I never did close up with any video at that point. I had no more footage after that point. But it's amazing to me, looking back, how much a difference a year makes. Both in my life, as well as in the game itself, how much a difference a year has made, just even the quality of life of the game and just some of the other stuff that was going on with it. Just the addition of the Night Bus, Tonic for Trace Detection, and the most recent update. Definitely making the game more interesting, and it's only a year old, so hopefully we have even more better things to come. And for those of you that have subscribed to my channel and watch my videos, thank you guys. I look forward to making just more and more videos for you guys as new stuff comes out. All that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Nox.